Update of what's going on with the foreclosures. As you know, we have several occupations taking place, and I want to give you an update. We have a successful story with Sergeant Chavoya over in Chino that we're trying to sell his home. We went and interrupted the auction. We immediately start talking to the bank, which is Wells Fargo. Now they're negotiating. It looks like they're going to keep his. He's going to be allowed to keep his home and lower the payments and also and everything else. So that was good. Second thing, we are occupying right now a home in Rolling Heights. The man called us. He called us hours before he was going to be evicted. We're happy to say that the eviction has been postponed. There's been a couple of lawsuits that have been filed, and he's got a date of March the 26th. Hopefully it's going to hold up. We believe it will, but so far from being hours from being evicted, now it's less. We have days available for him to stay in his home. Now, I would like to introduce to you today to someone that actually is in touch with another victim. This is one of the saddest cases that I have seen, and you know that I deal with foreclosures every single day. But I would like to introduce to you Gloria. Marta, excuse me, Marta.
Well, I'm with a non-profit. I work with Bueno Hogar Foundation and Hermandad Mexicana in the Valley, and we are two fighting the foreclosures. She's the director of Bueno Hogar Foundation, and we always fight for the rights of the people. We're really working and getting them modified, fighting. What I do is I file complaints with the OCC, the thrift supervision. I even send it to the White House. We bombard the White House with faxes. What happened on Wednesday was we had a compañera that she was working on getting a modification with Bank of America. She has two children. One is 14, the other one is a year and 7 months, and she was trying to get a modification like everybody else. What happened was when she was working with a modification, she was denied. Bank of America auctioned her house. Immediately they filed a bankruptcy to keep her in the property. She was, supposedly in a bankruptcy not to, get her out. So an investor bought the property, and when they came on Wednesday, she was in her house with her children, her husband, and what happened was the investor called the Van Nuys police, because this is in North Hollywood, and he did a citizen's arrest. And she's like, you're not going to arrest me, but they still arrest her. So the husband started recording the arrest. So they took her to Van Nuys court on Wednesday at 12 noon. We figured, she's going to get out in 2 hours. Well, what happened was when the police got to the chief commander, they told him we were recorded. The husband recorded us on the phone, whatever. So he said, we'll see how she's going to get out. So what he did, this is the police. What he did was he got her fingerprints and sent it to immigration. We found out, we didn't know she doesn't have documents. So they put a hold on her. They called immigration immediately and they put a hold on her. So these blank jerks now, we went to court this morning. We got her an attorney. We went to court this morning. They gave her 24 months of probation, and she has to stay away from the property for 200 feet. But since she was turned over to the sheriff, now they're keeping her in the deportation. So now we gotta fight that. So now she's facing deportation. Plus, she's losing her home, and everything is in her property. And then her husband, he's on his way here because the little girl, she's a year and 7 months, and she's been crying for her mom. But what we did is we launched a big nation, campaign. We're sending letters. We've got all the news media, the Latino news media, and they're all involved. So we covered this story. So last night we did a big protest demonstration in front of Van Nuys police station. So that's when Carlos called me, because we need your support on this.
Okay, this is what I know. Okay, this is the problem that we have here. We have several issues. Number one, LAPD has no right to evict anybody from their home. That is the sheriff's duty. So they basically abuse their authority. Okay, LAPD cannot do that. Number two, we have immigration rights. Okay. Now, she is married to a citizen. Her 2 children are also born here in the United States. And thirdly, she has been applying for documentation, but yet she's being denied. So we have that as an issue. And thirdly, we have a foreclosure issue. This continues to drag on the families of America. Foreclosures continue to hurt people. So I hope that we can find some kind of support among the occupiers, and we should push back and say that none of this stuff is acceptable. We need some real changes, and we need the police to stop abusing the families.
Yes. Separation of powers.
Correct. How many of you all got an email from me a few days ago about the foreclosure fight? All right, for those who didn't get it or who didn't get a chance to read it, basically what I'm talking about there is the fact that we've got, I mean, across the board, people are fighting for their human right for housing and shelter. All right, we've got homeowners who have been pushed out of their homes, many of them being pushed in the street. On Skid Row, we've got people who've already been pushed out of housing. In many cases, have been pushed out of the job market. Not all, because some of the homeless are folks who have jobs, but they don't make enough money to pay for consistent shelter. So, I mean, this is going on all over the place. Right now, there are 4 million homes that are slated for foreclosure. The banks are trying to move on them very, very fast before the public reaction sets into this deal that the Obama administration made with the banks a few weeks ago. They're trying to get these properties and sell them very quick to someone else to make it so complicated that no one can untie it later. So we really need to be responsive. If anytime you get an alert about the foreclosure fights, please try to respond if you can. If you can't go, pass that email or that notice on to friends and talk to your friends. If we seriously take up this survival fight for everyone, our movement will be made everywhere. Automatically, this fight takes us into every neighborhood from Skid Row to the San Fernando Valley, to you name it. And this is our opportunity to make our movement a mass movement, but also at the same time concretely help people with their survival needs. So please hook up with us. It doesn't have to be your main work, but please support us in every way that you can. We're trying to pool our resources on this, but we do not have enough hands to help all the people who are approaching us. So please join in with us to build this effort.
What's the email list? How do we get on it? How do we know about this? Email list.
We post things up on the Occupy listserv constantly. Also, Occupy the Hood has postings on our Facebook page. Carlos's group also has a Facebook page, I believe, and a special list. But we're trying to get this broadly to everyone as much as possible. And if you haven't been signed up on the list, please sign this, and we'll take your name tonight.